Okay, so I just want to share a quick workflow tip for those that are using Final Cut Pro 10 and InDesign. And the two applications can work quite nicely together through the use of transparent PNGs to create lower thirds. So basically, I have a brochure for an art event and it has the list of all the different projects within it. So I'm now editing the video with those same titles from the brochure. And so what I've done is I've set up an InDesign document with a page for each lower third. Okay. Now the nice thing about this is that when you export out the PNGs from each page of this document in InDesign, as long as you don't change the number of pages that you have in your document at any point in time, the PNGs will update automatically in Final Cut Pro. So I just want to illustrate how this can be useful. So I've got all my lower thirds set up and most of them are fine. The text is flowing nicely. The number refers to the point on the map, so you can kind of locate where that event was during 2014, which is when this event happened. And then we have some events where the first name here was slightly out of sync, so the typesetting didn't work. Okay, so what we can do here in Final Cut Pro and InDesign is relink this to an updated PNG. So the way that we do that is jump into InDesign. We'll go to page number 43 here. Okay, and you can see that we have the page now with the incorrect typesetting. Now we have a white background here, but don't worry, that's going to drop out when we export out a PNG with transparency from InDesign. So we can jump in here and we can make the changes that we need to for this type. So I'm just going to grab this line, increase the leading a little bit, and then I'm going to have to open up this lower third just a little bit to make sure I can include all the information. And actually I'm going to move this logo while I'm in here as well, so this can be updated. I'm going to replace the default logo that's over here on the right with this logo. Okay, so we'll just enlarge that, position it, we'll save this, and then we'll come to File, Export. Now I've already exported the PNGs, I've imported them all into Final Cut Pro, and so basically what I'm doing here is I'm replacing all those original PNGs, which Final Cut Pro is linking to, so that link is going to update. So I'm just going to overwrite all of these. Okay, so I'm going to export out all pages. I don't need to, but it's just the quickest way of doing it without thinking too much. And then we'll click Export, we'll overwrite all those existing files, click Yes. Now I've set up 100 pages for this document just so if I had a few extra projects that came into the lower thirds, I can add those at the end of these pages, but actually there's only 60 or 70 projects that I'm using at the moment, or 60 or 70 pages in InDesign. So we'll come now to Final Cut Pro, and if we just hang on a second or two, Final Cut Pro will now relink to that updated file. You can see the typesetting has been fixed, and we still have the links to all the other pages that we set up, so we can go ahead and fix other pages in this. Now it's a really nice way of managing text. Final Cut Pro is great for editing video, but doesn't necessarily deal with big bodies of text in a nice way. It also means I can keep the same style and typesetting that I had in my original document, so I don't need to worry about recreating the style or trying to match the style when I'm creating lower thirds directly in Final Cut Pro. I really like this technique, and I know this hasn't been a complete tutorial of how to do it, but hopefully for those that are InDesign or Final Cut Pro users, this will be a useful starter for you.